Uluru today in the middle of Australia. Just launched my levitation delta.
Thanks for watching. Before I get started with this week's episode, please take the time to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Today I'm going to be talking about photographing Uluru, which is also known as Ayers Rock. It's the big, red, iconic monolith that's right in the middle of Australia. I traveled to Uluru back in January of 2013 when I was traveling through Australia to do some kite aerial photography. Now, even though Uluru is out in the middle of the outback in Australia, literally in the middle of nowhere with no city or anything around, it's surprisingly easy to access. There's an airport right near it with flights from all over the country. So I actually flew from Cairns out to Uluru. January is the middle of their summer, and when I was out there, it happened to be the hottest day on record to that point countrywide for the continent of Australia.
It's about 109 degrees yesterday. It's going to be about 110 today and 111 tomorrow.
And actually, out where we were near Uluru, the temperature was much, much higher than that. And it actually reached 49 degrees Celsius out at Uluru, which is like just over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It was unbelievably hot. Walking outside, there was a little breeze, so it felt like someone had a hairdryer blowing against your entire body about an inch from your skin. It was just brutally hot. There were also massive wildfires going on back then across the outback in Australia. And in the background of my photograph of Uluru, you can actually see smoke from some of those fires right along the horizon. In order to be able to fly my kite at Uluru and use that to lift my camera up into the air, I did need to do something that I don't typically do when I travel to photograph places, and that's get permission to photograph before I actually do it. Because Uluru is a protected site that's regulated by Australia and also the indigenous people in the area, they were able to issue me this permit to photograph. This kind of ensured that no one would really bother me or stop me while I was trying to photograph, which actually worked out because one of the park rangers did come by and stop and see what I was up to when I was flying my kite. On the day that I photographed Uluru, my friend Kevin, who was traveling with me on this trip, and I got up really early, went out to Uluru for sunrise because it was supposed to be so brutally hot the rest of the day. We wanted to photograph first thing in the morning when the temperature was still kind of tolerable to us.
It's pretty early in the morning right now. It's about 7:45. I've been up since 4:30. Came out here. There was no wind for a while. It started to get breezy about a half hour ago. Hopefully the wind will be consistent and smooth enough to get it camera up there today. Okay, I found a spot that's a little bit closer here, actually quite a bit closer to Uluru. It's on the side of the road on a pullout, but we have plenty of room over here. Kite's flying pretty well, camera just went up. Okay, well I've been shooting for a while now. Had almost the entire line out again, about 1,000 feet of line, so estimate the camera was maybe 700 feet in the air, maybe a little less.
One thing when we were out at Uluru that we had considered doing was taking the hike from the desert floor up to the top of Uluru. You can actually walk along a pathway up the rock to the top. However, there's been a lot of debate on whether this is proper to do because Uluru is considered a sacred site for the indigenous people in the area, and they find it disrespectful to climb up onto Uluru at all. So even though we wanted to take this hike up to the top for the experience and for the view, we were kind of split on the decision of whether we should do this or should not do this. And this is something that people should consider when they go to visit Uluru. As it turns out, the park officials closed the hike to Uluru while we were there because it was too hot and they considered it unsafe for people to be walking up on the top of Uluru when it was 120 degrees out. So they did kind of make the decision for us.
It's getting pretty hot out here, so I'm gonna pack everything up, go back to the hotel room, and check out some pictures, and go sit by the pool for the rest of the day while it's hot. It's gonna be about 110 today, they said.
Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story about how I photographed Uluru in Australia. Once again, please take the time to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please like this video if you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below and I'll respond to you. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook and see all of my work on my website. Thank you for watching.